it me or it's what you do for a living, but you brought a helmet. I'm not going to hurt you.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, sometimes things get hairy.
Why don't we pick it up because we're going to put you on YouTube too.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about Helmet Hub.
Well, Helmet Hub is a service that aims to make renting helmets, kind of like the one I've got here, as easy as renting the bikes in the bike share programs.
I understand.
So have you seen like the Hubway systems in Boston?
The bike systems? Yes,
Yeah.
Developed in Montreal. I know the whole program.
Exactly, yeah. So, they're great because you can go out and you can grab a bike and you can ride it anywhere, you can turn it in, but unless you just like happen to carry a helmet around with you,
right.
you're probably not going to be prepared
right.
when you go there and you kind of have to ride unhelmeted. So we think that's kind of a shame. We'd like to give people the option.
Right.
And so our whole business is in putting a machine alongside the stations where the map and ad panel at those stations are.
Right.
We replace that with a machine that can dispense helmets out. So you can grab a helmet when you go for a ride. Then when you return the bike, you can return the helmet.
So have you gone to the people in Montreal who were the ones who they bought the bikes from Boston, since they seem to be the hub of the business?
Yeah, we've talked to them a few times. We're sort of developing independently at this point, but we've been in contact with them.
Good. Well, tell us about the whole origination of the business. Why did you come? How did it all come about?
Well, it actually started as a class project at MIT. It was for a class called 2009, Product Engineering Processes, with Professor David Wallace.
Right.
And the class's goal is to take and do everything in product design in 3 months. You go from having an idea and sketching it out to kind of exploring the feasibility technically, all the way through building a proof of concept alpha prototype, doing some kind of first order business checks, the whole deal, all in 3 months, while also taking other classes at MIT.
Right.
So it's a crazy class. And part of what they do to try and help you get through it and maybe generate some ideas is they have an event they call the Idea Fair. And the Idea Fair is an opportunity for businesses to come in and pitch problems that they're having themselves and say like, oh hey, we can't do this, maybe you guys can figure that out. So one of the people at the Idea Fair last year was Nicole Friedman from Boston Bikes. And she came in, she said, hey, we've got this Hubway program and it's going really well. We did like way more trips than we thought we would already. Only thing is that nobody's wearing helmets and that really kind of freaks the city out.
Right.
And so she's like, maybe you guys can figure out something to do about that. So we kicked that idea around with a couple other ones and wound up picking that and did some development, and we developed our first prototype for release in December. We had our public presentation, got a lot of press from that, from like Boston Globe and Boston Inno and stuff. And so then a couple of us from the team sat down and said, wow, that was pretty cool. Maybe this is like a real thing. So we spent the last semester kind of thinking about, could we do this for real? What would it take? And that's kind of how we found MassChallenge through one of our mentors at MIT who said, oh, you should check out MassChallenge.